Humble starts as this little bitty, I don't want to say something smaller than a town. So when the school district first starts, it starts as this private schoolhouse that's being run by a guy named Joe Dunman. That begins in 1873. And then as we get into the early 1880s, the state of Texas passes a new law that basically creates all these common school districts. So all of Harris County was divided geographically, and each little geographic zone had its own school district.
We're here today in the Charles Bender building, one of the original high schools of Humble ISD. And my early remembrance of the district was coming here to pick up my aunt with my grandmother when she was in junior high.
But a lot of people still identify with the town, and the fact is, Humble has a great history. A lot of people that have worked here for years. So they've communicated with the people that lived here, they've been involved with the town, they've been involved with the other people. Humble's a place where a lot of people come here and this is where they finish out their career. 1909, we have a lot of students here. There was an oil boom that occurred in 1904, and like overnight the town went from something like 75 families to over 10,000 people.
When I first was on the board in 74, there were 4,300 students in the district. So when I retired from the board in 2002, I think we had 25 or 26,000. So it was a very growing time, built lots of schools, had lots of good students, and a very rewarding time for me.
Most school districts don't have superintendents that stick around more than 5 years. I mean, 5 years is probably a good average turnover rate. Ours tend to stick around a lot longer. The nice part about having a superintendent that sticks around for a while is you get a lot of stability in the district.
And that stability adds to a real building of the school district and not having any uproars and chaos and this sort of thing.
I mean, at 41,000 students, and we're expecting to top out at 53,000 over the next 10 years. I think it's very important that we maintain that consistency. You know, going to school at the original Humble Elementary School on Charles Street, next to the big football stadium we had back then, and then going to Lakeland Elementary, and then on to Humble Middle School, which is now Ross Sterling, and then on to Humble High School where I graduated. We've seen it grow tremendously over the years, and boy, there's just not enough time to tell all the stories.
Funny thing, the Humble citizens are really involved in their history. They tend to know their history most in other small towns, and we can actually attribute a lot of that back to some of the teachers who used to teach over at Charles Bender High School.
It's allowed us to continue to have that neighborhood feel. So having community schools, you know, in a Atascocita, we have a Atascocita High School, and most of those subdivisions out there gravitate to that school. So there's a sense of identity.
But we've always tried to have each school be a small town. And even within schools, we have at times smaller communities. And so it's been the real aim to try to make it as pleasant and as good a learning atmosphere as we possibly could.
And the BizComs have come out of that. So now we do the BizComs at all of our high schools, and it's a way to really take the high school and make it the center of the community again. And I really believe that that's how we've been able to maintain that small town feel, even with the growth.
So I think it's that sense of community where people come here, they stay, they get involved in everything that happens here, and it just becomes a family. You become aware of everything that they're doing.
When you look at the criteria for the HEB award, it's about education, it's about community involvement, it's about the reputation we have with the taxpayers, it's about the culture and climate that we've developed in Humble ISD. So what I learned from my parents was get involved. They instilled in us early on, if you're going to call it home, leave it better than you found it. You know, it's a great place to live, it's a great place to work. It's home.